lot of fun working with Taz again. He's a young, aspiring producer, director, writer. He did it all in this film, and I take my hat off to him.
Working with a group, it was interesting. You always meet a lot of new people. It was actually a great time working with these guys. Everybody was sort of close-knit, so there's no complaints there.
It was my first time working with this group in particular. I'd worked with Taz before on previous projects, but not acting, so it was good to know somebody, and then I met everybody else, and they were really cool, and a good group of people, and I liked a large group. It was only troubling some days when it was hard to schedule everybody, because everybody has very different schedules, but it was good to meet different people and network and have a good group of people.
I really enjoyed working with the cast and the crew. One of the best I've ever worked with, if not the best. Definitely the funnest, because there was such an array of people there that I met alone, and a lot of them were people I really look up to, martial artists. I love those films, and to see everyone get together and do this action was just amazing. It was definitely a movie that I never expected to shoot, and I finally did. I got to meet some great people, and that I'm gonna remember for as long as I live. These guys are so awesome.
Working with the friends and the group. Well, you know what? It's been a blast, because every single person that I've cast and I've auditioned, they not only were friends, but they earned certain positions. And you know what? It's a discipline where you can separate your worlds. Friend, offset, cast member or crew member on set. Otherwise, you're going to realize you're digressing, you're having a good time, you're laughing. Before you know it, sunset when it's supposed to be a sunrise shot.
Generally, I've worked with editing and After Effects for a while now, but it's always been based on what I need, not what somebody else needs. So when Taz asked me to do, say, the car thing and the muzzle flashes especially, that was all new for me. And I learned more from doing the Briefcase than I have in the last 2 years of doing my own little effects and stuff. So it's a good experience all around.
The editing room, oh my God. The editing room, I'm pretty sure we spent months in there, or at least it felt that way. I was sitting in the editing room. I recall that one weekend, or week actually in particular, where Claudia and I were just sitting down and for 3 days straight, I believe, on 2 hours of sleep.
Editing was just a crazy time. It was, if anything, a great time to get to know Taz a lot more. In 3 or 4 days, or I don't even know how many days we spent together. We would wake up editing, we would go to sleep editing if we slept.
And we were doing night shifts, like we were security guards. I would eventually pass out, and he would stay up, work.
He would sleep, I would work, he would sleep. And there would be sometimes where we'd go and get food. Sometimes we would take a little break.
We had a window right next to us, and that's basically how we kept track of time. Time did not exist for us. We'd look over and be like, wow, it's sunrise.
And look at the sunset, or get some air, because you definitely need to relax. There's a lot. It was very stressful for us, very stressful for me.
And it was crazy, but you know what? In the end, it all paid off, because you have to push for a little bit, and then at the end of the day, you can sit back and watch and enjoy the final finished product.
It was great to see him, tell me, let's go outside, let's take a break, because it really helped me out, and I really appreciated it that he was looking out for me. And as much as he loves the film, he loves having me part of it, and I totally would love to do it again. Probably some of the funnest time was editing, I would have to say, for sure.
Taz is good in a way. We'd meet up, we'd throw the ideas or the possibilities back and forth, and Taz is a good guy because he'll actually listen to what you're saying and weigh it in, whereas some people would just be like, no, my way, my way, my way. Taz actually weighs it in, but in the end, the final decision is his, so he had the courage to stick up to anybody else who was saying no, 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 and he'd listen, but in the end, he stuck up for what he wanted to do, and that's the way it was.
As a friend, he's good because he is funny and he jokes around, and he always keeps things light, but at the same time, as a director, he can remain professional and make things perfect and how however he wants, and like he just has good visions of things, and it was very impressive to see what he could do, especially on no budget. So it was very good working with him, both professionally and as a friend.
Taz is a great director, great filmmaker. Every day he was prepared. He'd stay up till 7 in the morning, call time 7:30, and you know he'd be more awake than I was, definitely. He was so prepared whenever we were shooting, and you know he knew exactly what was going on. Sometimes, for example, the fight scene, you know, I saw some angles, and I saw some angles that we were shooting, but I didn't see how it would form in my head until we started editing. And I'm like, oh, so that's what you mean by that. So it was very, it was very good to see Taz know exactly what he's doing, and it's always good to see a director do that.
For me, I was brought in a little bit after the project. We'd always talked about the project before, so I think when we got together throughout the filming and the production, it was a little bit more friendship level until the very end. And then when I came on and helped out a little bit with whatever I could do, Taz has a gift for being professional and still your friend at the same time, which is it's pretty rare. So it's kind of a push. It's like, yeah, we're still friends, but you better do this or else. You never get to see what the or else is, but it's always there.
In this film is twists and turns, and you won't know which way anybody's going until the very end. You won't want to miss it. I understand it's done very well. It's already accepted in the LA Film Festival. And we look forward to great promises from this film from Taz Garcia. We've already developed a bit of a history, he and I. This is our second film that we've worked together on. And I want to say we had a lot of fun. We worked in some inclement weather, and we worked in, of course, warm weather. We did it all over the course of all of this year. And hey, I'm looking forward to see the results of this film, and you should too.